Hey guys, welcome to our review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, the long awaited and anticipated sequel for obviously huge regions. First, I want to thank our sponsors, Extra Wallets. Right now, we actually have a huge bundle deal. It's the AJS Holiday Bundle, Black Friday special, but you can get it now. That discount is going on right now, guys. And we love Extra. These wallets are friggin' awesome. Trust me, when you whip it out, you're going to get compliments.
Yeah, and also be sure to check out the trackers. You'll never lose your phone or your wallet.
It helped Joe once, helped me once. We are absent-minded, and it's so small it fits right in there. Guys, thank you so much for considering buying your friends, family, or yourself a gift this Black Friday. So check out the deal. It's going on now. So let's jump into Black Panther. Holy moly, does this movie...
it was long.
It was long. The first movie was 2 hours 15. So that was a long movie. This was 2 hours and 41 minutes.
It felt a little long.
This is a 3-hour film. I thought maybe a little too long. However, I'm getting ahead of myself now. I liked it. I liked it overall. And...
Okay.
Though I thought because of its length, it does drag a bit, at least for me. I think you might have liked it a little better than I did when we exited the theater. But because this thing has a lot. Do I recommend to go out and see it? You know, if you're already a fan of Black Panther and the Marvel Universe, then yes, you're already going. If you weren't a fan of the original Black Panther, then this one, I'm not really sure it's going to do what it needs to do in order to bring you aboard. It definitely has a better final battle sequence than that first film.
The rhinos.
Rhinos and the CGI. CGI pretty bad with Killmonger and stuff in the first one. This one, the CGI is better. There's it changes back and forth. But overall, I do think the first film is better. And I do think the first film's story is a little tighter and it's just more focused and it's good.
Yeah.
This one gets a little messy, okay, especially in its second act that I feel drags a lot. But it is really a product of the times, right, and the constraints and the cinematic universe. And then, of course, the passing of Chadwick Boseman, which is huge, which just hangs heavy over this film. This is a film that does its best to honor his memory, and I think it does that. It does a really good job of it, you know. And considering all the different things that this film has to do, of course it's going to be 3 hours. Think about it. So it probably does too much. It didn't need to do this much. So you got, you know, the funeral of T'Challa, you know, the passing of T'Challa, dealing with, you know, how did T'Challa pass away, the funeral of T'Challa, how that affects Wakanda, how the world sees Wakanda without Black Panther. Then it tosses in Namor, who you've seen.
No, it is Niamor.
Oh, what?
It's without love.
Oh, that's right. No,
it is without love.
My name is Niamor. It's like everybody's had it wrong. It's not Namor. It's
without
Niamor,
love.
Without love. So then you got the introduction of Niamor, and you know, his origin, and then also his people's origin in that city. What is it? I'm drawing a blank. Talokan. And then the conflict between Talokan and Wakanda, which has been a big thing in the comics. It's a little different depicted here, but we get that. We get some good battles there. And then, of course, the passing of the torch, who's going to be the next Black Panther. And what am I up to now, Joe? I'm up to like 6 or 7. And then how does M'Baku and all these other people fit into that? And then they even try to do some Thunderbolt stuff with that lady. You know, that she's in charge. You remember she's kind of getting Black Widow and, you know, U.S. Agent and all these people. They kind of try to cram that in there. And then, of course, you know, you go to a climactic battle and sort of, and then all at the same time honoring King T'Challa within the universe. But it's just so much here. And so, of course, it's going to be that. It needed to be long, but I don't know about this long.
I don't know. There's a couple parts I wasn't with.
Okay. So, but ultimately, I think because of writer director Ryan Coogler and the performances in the film,
Yes.
everybody's doing their top-notch acting here. Even Shiri, honestly, I don't really like her that much. As a
Outside
character.
of
And
okay.
outside,
I thought you were
there's
gonna
still
say outside.
no, there's still that controversy. I don't know if she ever really, addressed or apologized for anti-vaxxer stuff, but who cares about that? It's just like, what's her performance in this? And I was honestly, a little surprised. She really puts on her A game here, but still, for me, I just didn't resonate with her quite as much as obviously King T'Challa. She's not a good replacement, in my opinion. It pales in comparison to the original. Though I do think this new Black Panther suit looks fucking amazing. I think it's really, really cool. Other than one aspect, which we'll talk about later. But so there's just a ton to cover. But because it blends. I think the actors like a lot of the mourning for the character of T'Challa is blending over into obviously the mourning for the real actor who passed away and changed the entire plot of this film. It comes across on screen. It's done really well, and it pays homage to T'Challa. And so ultimately, while I have some problems with its pacing and some of its story, and it leans heavily on its supporting cast, I think the supporting cast here is far superior to a lot of other movie supporting casts.
Angelina did amazing.
Yeah.
I fucking loved her performance.
Yeah. Okoye is. I love
She did
Okoye.
amazing
She
too.
did
See,
amazing
they
too.
all
I
stepped
fucking
up,
love
and it was great.
Okoye. Just everybody is on their A game here, and that helps carry the film. So yeah, okay. Well, what did you think of this? It's difficult to talk. I don't know if we want. Well, let's not do spoilers. We'll do a separate spoiler section.
With this film, I honestly wanted something like not to do like a typical Marvel thing, like a comedy, like Love and Thunder. That was too much comedy. I
Right.
wanted it to
That's
be
Taika
like taking
Waititi.
I wanted it to be like more serious, and it was.
Yeah.
And I was happy for this, and fucking everyone stepped up to the plate and did an amazing job on this.
Yeah. I think ultimately it really works. Now, there are some aspects that do not work quite as well, I'll say. I don't know what it is for you, but for me, it was this Iron Heart.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the part I was gonna talk about. It's super cheesy.
Yeah.
It was a little too much on that.
It's a little too much. She's like the next Tony. She's like smarter than Tony Stark. Just comes out of nowhere. Her character introduction. I think the director and the actors thought that, man, audiences are gonna love this new character. They're gonna gravitate toward her because she's an audience surrogate. I was reading interviews. She's like an audience surrogate. It's like,
No, she wasn't.
nah, man.
I feel
It's
like she was
I
too
get
much.
it. Too much into the film. I think this needed to be. It feels like she's injected here because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and what it sets up in the future. And honestly, I thought this comic book character is very heavily tied into Tony Stark. Not a fucking single mention of Tony Stark. Maybe I missed it. Obviously,
I didn't hear anything
clearly
about it.
she's inspired by Tony Stark, but they don't really talk about it or bring it to the front.
No.
You know what I mean? This is definitely Wakandan centered, whereas Wakanda is, involved in meeting her and helping with this plot that involves her. I don't want to spoil anything, but it was, kind of an unnecessary addition that it may be if we trim up the film. That's one of the things that I would probably trim up.
Same.
Okay.
I agree with you on that one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but as far as the action sequences, there were multiple battles between the countries, which I thought were amazing, well done. Honestly, I think the person who most surprised me, who I thought was going to look fucking ridiculous, floating around with his like little fucking wings.
That kind of looked weird at first, but I got used to it.
Was Namor, and I thought, oh, no more, but I thought Namor was gonna be ridiculous, but he ends up being badass. I love this Mexican cultural
Like Aztec,
Mayan
yeah.
Aztecian take that they had on him, which makes him very unique
And his
and
purpose
interesting.
actually made sense. And like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm a bad guy just to be a bad guy. But
Right.
this one actually made sense.
So I think this is a strong villain. I may not be quite as strong as Killmonger. I think Killmonger was a little was a little better, but he's definitely at a very high power level in the film, and they definitely depict that and show that. And it's like, how is Shuri or how is Wakanda itself going to overcome a potential war
Yeah.
between these two? Because obviously Wakanda is very technologically advanced, but these people seem to be extremely powerful and super strength. And honestly, when they started fighting, I was like, all right, uh, all you have to do is spear any of those Wakandan warriors and get them into the water, and they're fucked. But
Yep.
they don't do that because the movie would be over instantly. Because if you're trying to fight them in the water, they're gonna be running circles around you like you're not doing anything. And if you see how powerful Namor is in this film, out of water, if he gets any of
Makes
those people
sense.
in the water, they'd be done. Right, like Aquaman, Joe.
Yeah.
Who wins, Aquaman or Namor? Ni amor. Ni amor.
Mi amor.
Namor.
Mi amor.
Who wins?
I
I'm
said
putting
mi
you on the
amor.
spot.
Mi amor.
I'm gonna say,
He's
yeah, but he
super
can
powerful.
super strength. He can fly.
He can fly.
Aquaman can't fly. So, but he does seem to have a weakness, which we'll get to in the spoilers,
Mm-hmm.
that Aquaman doesn't. So, I don't know. Toss up. Y'all tell us who you think will win. Anyways, so what else? What else can we talk about? Loved the designs. We get to see more of Wakanda. We get to see more of their culture, especially through the funeral scenes, and then some of the set design, the costume design. All of it was just amazing. I loved it. There is one thing though that I think looks stupid, and even the movie thought it looked stupid. Okoye has this new thing. We're in the non-spoiler, so we'll wait until I just thought it was stupid looking, and
I
even
agree.
at one
I
point she's even
agree.
like, that is hideous and ugly.
I agree with her.
So yeah, I agree with her as well. But I think they made a good film here. It's entertaining. It's got some action. It's got a somber tone to it. I think a lot of people are maybe going to be surprised. They shouldn't be surprised because Chadwick Boseman has passed on. So obviously this film has to deal with that in a very serious manner and do it with class. And
Yeah.
I think it executes it well enough.
It
So.
did.
Let's go ahead and get to final verdicts. We'll make this a short one. Alex is still on vacation in Japan, so we'll see what he thinks. Maybe eventually when he comes back. if
Maybe
he
he
gets to
saw in
see it.
Japan.
Maybe, who knows? But that's Wakanda Forever, Joe. What would you give Wakanda Forever?
For me, I was between a 7 or 8, but like honestly, I'm probably gonna go with an 8
Mm-hmm.
because I love the performances by everyone. I love the way they honored T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great scene. It was like a tearjerker. It got me a couple times. I was
Really?
like, oh my, yeah.
Okay.
It's like, oh my god.
We'll talk about where in the spoilers.
Yeah, a couple cheesy things. I was happy it wasn't too cheesy, but it was pretty serious,
Mm-hmm.
and I like the aspect of different civilizations we got to see.
Yeah.
And the length was kind of long, but I felt like it was needed to tell the story.
Yeah.
So 8 for me.
And for you,
I'm
okay.
gonna go with an 8. I like that. I like the performances by everyone.
Yeah, I think that the second act dragged too much for me, and it started to get messy. We're doing a cut to this location, then we're back to this location, then we're back to this location. Oh, and let's see what the agent is up to in America and how that has to tie into everything. And it's like he didn't really have a whole lot of purpose, in the film, but yet took up a bunch of time.
You had to tell him secret information.
Secret information and how he ties into the rest. But yeah, so let's see, what is his name? Everett K. Ross, the agent of the Central
Martin.
Intelligence Agency. Yeah. Um, I'm going with a 7. I'm going with a 7 out of 10, mainly because it felt it dragged in parts. It's a little messy, but it has so much to try to take care of. Like I said before, Ironheart's introduction, origin,
That's the cheesy part
and
that brought
then
it down for
and
me.
then Wakanda's dealing with T'Challa's death,
That was
funeral,
great,
the new
great,
Black Panther, the
great,
fucking Namor, the
great,
Namorian people, the battle
great.
between Wakanda and I see it. All right, I see it. Um, and a lot of these supporting characters really step up to the plate and do pull the weight. But would I watch it again? I think I would skip to the Namor scenes and some of the action scenes towards the end.
I
So
liked them better than I thought I would.
yeah, and they're definitely better than, like I said, the the Rhino battle.
Oh,
Now that I
yes.
think about it, it's so embarrassing. So I'd give the original Black Panthers a 9 out of 10. It was a little heavy and cheesy with the special effects. You say this one's an 8, and I could definitely see an 8. I'm almost being convincing myself for an 8 just because the performances are so well done.
It got me a lot of times, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go with it.
It's
Joe
up to
got me.
you.
I'm going
It's
in.
up to you.
I'm
No
going to an 8.
pressure. No
No,
pressure.
well, I was already between a 7 or an 8, but I'm
Yeah.
just trying to, I'm trying to think like how much it dragged and how much I'm invested in this new Black Panther. Honestly, I'm not really that invested in who they chose and the future of it. But I thought it was well done. So I'm gonna stick with the 7 out of 10. So let's go ahead and talk to you and meet you guys in the spoiler section.